our last morning in Northumberland before we head up to my family in Glasgow, and we're at Bamburgh Castle. Just gonna make my way around from the car park to the other side of the castle and down onto the beach where you've got that sort of iconic view. Well, I think this is quite an interesting view of the castle. It's one you don't see very much. From the dunes. And if I can just find some of these tracks in the dunes to act as a leading line maybe, without losing any of the castle beyond. And maybe a shot here. Let me have a look. So I just took a couple of shots trying to get some of these little tracks. I don't know whether you can see them behind me. I'm trying to get some of these little tracks of sand into the foreground and these bushes with a castle on the hill beyond. It's an unusual view of this castle. I've never seen one from this angle. And it looks like there might be another option up here with some of these purple flowers of some kind in the foreground. Let me show you these purple things here. There's a couple down there. I might be able to get into each of the bottom corners. Let's give it a go, see if I can manage it. It's so bright you can't see the viewfinder really, and 24 just won't do it. So it's pano time. Well, it's a 9-shot mosaic that I can try and put together. Let's see how that comes out. I don't know whether you can see that. It's a tiny little bird of some kind, hovering. So I managed to get a couple of shots of it in flight. I've only got the 24 to 105. I didn't bring the long lens on this trip. So it takes up a very small portion of the frame, even at 105. So we'll have to see whether I can make that bigger with super size. So we're just carrying on walking along, actually what's part of the England coast path at the moment. I'm trying to get to the waterfront where the rocks are for some interesting foreground and hopefully the iconic view of Bamburgh Castle. So at the moment we're just carrying on along what is actually part of England coast path and trying to get down to the seashore where hopefully I'll get some nice rocks in the foreground and the iconic view of Bamburgh Castle. Now there is a really good view of the castle here, and there's this little path through the dunes which is giving me a nice foreground leading line kind of thing. So I'm going to grab a few shots of this. I'll almost certainly have to focus stack this one. Okay, so I just shot that scene, this nice little pathway through the dune, up, focus stacking almost everywhere. One there, one further up again, and of course one on the castle. But then I had to take a darker shot for the sky because it's quite bright behind the castle. So if that shot turns out any good once I post it all together, here's the shot. And we've made it to the seashore. We've still got quite a long way to go to reach those rocks, and I think the tide is on the way in, so I better get a move on. So I kind of like this view with the river stream coming in down below, and then above it the sand, some of the dunes, and the castle. It was quite a busy beach this morning, so I'll have to be quick. I'm not going to set up the tripod, I'm just going to grab a couple of shots. So, quick couple of shots there, if it's any good. Here's the shot. In the meantime, let's carry on down to these rocks. Although I'm not sure I'm going to get the shot today. There's so many people on the beach. The problem with coming here in the late morning, in the summer, during a heat wave. Don't know whether you can make that out, but there's actually some spray coming off the sea. Gonna have to watch my lens. So this is sort of the location I wanted to be in for this. Get these big black volcanic rocks in the foreground. It'd be better if the tide was in just a little bit more. So this is what I'm looking at. There's a nice little water pool in the foreground, and I've got my polarizer on to cut the glare and see some of the textures underneath it. And then the castle beyond. Now I've taken a number of focus stacks here. I've taken some at 50mm, and then I've gone all the way out to 24 to get more of this foreground in. And I'll show you the actual shots first, blended together obviously from the focus stack. And then if I like the 50mm one, that'll be fine. If not, I might do a perspective blend, in which case I'm going to shoot the castle at probably round about 70, so I'll be able to add that in. I might even add that in at the 24, but that would look very false. Look at that sea mist coming in now. Wow. I just got my shots in time before the castle vanished in the mist.